Hello everyone. Yes, I'm still not feeling well. I don't know, it's like week 2, maybe 2.5 actually. I'm all right, I guess. I think I got like 2 kind of colds back to back, and I know you guys don't care. You don't come here to hear me talk about this, but I'm trying to make stuff. Now, I know you might be asking, what about the GameCube stream, the comparison stream? And I say to you, what do I say to you? I say to you, I don't think it's worth it yet because of this. Let me just, I didn't have this pulled up already, but. Oh, here it is. This, I guess I'll just go to all of Extrem's stuff. Okay, so. Extrems, if you don't know, is sort of the mastermind behind Swiss. Swiss is, was there other alternatives? I don't know. It was the homebrew app for the GameCube. So anytime that you modded a GameCube, whether you had an ODE or way back when you had an IPL replacement chip, or even something like the what was it called? The disk drive chip, where it was like this $4 chip that you could like solder underneath the disk drive. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. I did it one time, but unfortunately with that, you needed to burn a Swiss disk. So you needed a mini DVD, or actually there were modded GameCube cases where you could put a modded GameCube case. Well, actually there's 3D printed ones, and actually unfortunately Gamebox had a version of that. So you could fit a full-size CD in your GameCube. So you could just burn a Swiss to that full-sized CD. But anyway, so you could load Swiss, and then from there you could boot ISO files, like not ROMs, like disk images. So for a very long time, that was like the only, as far as I know, it was the only software. I don't know if there was other alternatives. I haven't been in the GameCube scene that long, so I don't really know before that. But nowadays, or more recently, is Flippy Boot, or is that what it's called? Cube Boot, which is the software that the Flippy drive runs. I don't think it uses Swiss, or it might use some Swiss stuff behind the scenes, but it's a new interface. Anyway, so what am I talking about? Extrems developed Swiss. So he's like the GameCube wizard, pretty much. He knows a lot about the GameCube, its architecture. Anyways, apparently, as of June 6th, which was a few weeks ago now, they designed, if you don't know what the SD2 SP2 was, an older, Dan, aka Citrus 3000 PSI from Pixel Effects. This is before Pixel Effects was even a thing. Dan developed the SD2 SP2, I believe. Could have been somebody else. Actually, no. Was Dan the first one? I don't know. I'm not sure. Somebody was the first one. But it was this mod that allowed you to load, put files on it, and files on an SD card, and then you could load from the SD card in Swiss. You can load games off of it. So it was kind of like if you were doing the Pico Boot. Is it what's called? Pico Boot? Yeah. You could have the Pico Boot mod, but then you could load your games using this SD2 SP2. Well, anyways, Extrems has made a new version of it called SD2 SP2 2.0. And the major difference is, actually there's some details somewhere about exactly what it is. it's not two pieces. If you have a current SD2 SP2, there's like a right angle adapter that lets it stick out the side so that you can still access the SD card if you're using a Game Boy player. But this version apparently doesn't have it. It's all one piece, and there's some components on here, right? So there's a capacitor, but there's this other component here. Now the difference with 2.0, according to Durf of Console Mods Wiki, the Console Mods Wiki, is this is U1 speed, so it's a faster transfer speed to the GameCube. So let's see if I can find the post. That's interesting. Something about Star Fox Adventures can desync. Huh. Okay, so apparently this is not. Also, it's not a reference design, which is interesting, according to Xtrems. So this is just his version to get the software working. So that's kind of cool. So it's possible. It could be possible for there to be a right angle version of it in the future if somebody else designs it. I think it has to do with the additional components here. Let's see if I can find a second post. So basically what I'm saying is I believe that this, I don't know for certain, but I'm sort of certain that with this new version of SD2 SP2 we might have a tightening of the competition, right? So I've been meaning to do sort of a mini roundup. It's going to be nothing crazy, nothing scientific, just me kind of exploring the current three different options, right? So Flippy Drive, which is not gone for sale yet, as far as I know. I don't even think there was a pre-order yet. Maybe I'm wrong. Pico Boot, which is just using a Raspberry Pi Pico. This is a pretty cheap mod. And the GC loader. So of those three, which one is worth getting? But because of this, it seems like the Pico Boot, I don't know. See, I've always had a problem with, and I'll bring it up right now. I've always had a problem with, not a problem per se, but like one of the things that I don't like about, hold on. One thing I don't like about the variety of mods for the GameCube is that it looks like there's different compatibility across them. And I tried asking, I just kind of put it out there, and it's a lot of hard work, I understand, because there's a lot of variables, right? There's the different mods, right? So there's Pico Boot, Flippy Drive now, GC Loader. There's different ways that you can use the GC Loader. And there's different versions of Swiss. So it's kind of like a losing battle as far as keeping track of all the compatibility issues, if there are any, right? Like FMV loading. There is a Swiss game compatibility list. I do not know how out of date it is. What's the current version? I know we're gonna get to the Twin Famicom. I just want to talk about why I'm not doing GameCube quick. Let's see, Swiss. Okay, the current version is 1668. So version 6 at least. Version's released 16. Oh, I guess. So I guess maybe the minor version here, whatever. I'm not sure which one takes precedence. So I don't know if that means that this is the 1668 release of version 6, or if that's just the total running. I don't know. I'm not sure. But at least, as you can see, compared to this list, it's at least double the release versions. So I'm sure that this list is really out of date. But this is what I was going to go off of when I was going to do my GameCube compatibility sort of thing. I was going to pick some things in this list, right? So this one says Bloody Roar Extreme, is FMV is a bit choppy, but in game is running smooth. So I'm looking for like FMV loading issues, because that's where you would get bottlenecks with speed for things like the SD2 SP2 versus like the GC loader, because the GC loader is a little bit different in how it loads games and stuff. So I was just going to run through some of these extremely long loading times, right? Things like that. So I know this is, oh, this one is not that out of date. So this is version 6. So it seems like, I guess it's kind of kept up to date. But I don't know if people come back here and they update this. But as you can see, there are many, many, many games that are not on this list at all. So this has kind of been my issue with GameCube stuff in general. And, you know, I don't say that like, you know, other people should step up to the plate. You know, I know it's a big thing to do. But I don't think, how could anybody have a definitive, like, this is the one to get, this is the mod to get, it checks all the boxes, it solves all the problems. I don't think that that's a thing. I think that every solution has its issues, but I can't prove that, you know, without actually testing everything, or at least going off of the limitations here, without talking to somebody like Extrems. Extrems might be able to say, you know, there's intrinsic issues with every single one of these. I don't know, maybe it would be different, but you know, that's a difficult, in my opinion. I think it's difficult. It might not be difficult. Maybe it's like, you idiot, you know, it's probably easy. I'm not speaking for Extrems. I'm just, I don't know. Does anybody, if you know, if you know, put it, chat or put a comment or something. Maybe it's easier than I'm making it seem. But that's my, hey, Castmania. Thanks for showing up. You love the show. I try. Okay, so that's where I'm gonna leave it until I feel like it's worth waiting for the ST2 SP2 2.0 to come to fruition. Sounds like Extrems has the software, he's working on the software. Oh, I guess we can take a look at, I think he had another tweet somewhere where he was talking about some other, without going through all the replies. Oh, here we go. I fixed the SD2 SP2's performance with the aid of a single OR gate between D1 and CS. Swiss version 6 R1666 or later is required to take advantage of this hardware design change. Any comparisons, so this is from Durf again. Any comparisons or ballpark numbers of before and after? Just curious if this is worth everyone upgrading. So this video is of some game, apparently, that would, oh, what, there's like a, this is a, what is this, the Master Collection or whatever? This F-Zero, no what? You have some inside details, Castmania? No, if I know if there's a GameCube game compatibility list. Anyway, so apparently this game, this FMV that's available in the Master Collection or whatever, the GameCube Ocarina of Time, whatever, Master Collection disc, used to freeze. So it used to be unplayable. So I think that this new ST2 SP2 2.0 is such a game changer that it might be worth maybe the Pico boot, which is like the cheapest barrier to entry, and it's actually pretty convenient because the SD card is available on the outside of the GameCube, and you get to use your disk drive still. So I think it's even more convenient than the GC loader. If there is a if there is a design version of the ST2 SP2 that is right angle, so that allows you to have the, oh, my cat wants to get out, that allows you to have a right angle SD card so that you can still access it with the GC loader or the Game Boy player, then I think it would be drastically better enough. That's not the right thing. Drastically, I think it would make it better. I'm sorry, I can't think. Okay, so Donald Person Ninja said, so at this point, what are the drawbacks of the ST2 SP2 compared to other ODE options? It's still software emulation. So this is another thing that I've never really wrapped my head around, is how does the GC loader work? Right? If let's say Pico boot is what Xtrems is talking about, software emulation. Software emulation of a disk. So is Xtrems saying any ODE is contrasted to software emulation, or is software emulation from something like Pico boot or an IPL replacement, or is GC loader different enough where it's not necessarily considered software emulation? I've never gotten to that point. Never understood the distinction between them. Forgive me my ignorance, but what practical difference will that make for the end user experience? My understanding was that the main drawback that the SD2 SP2 is stuttering in cutscenes, so that's the FMV issues. If that's resolved, what gameplay drawbacks remain? Assuming the user has a way to boot into Swiss. So that was unanswered still. The memory cards run on the same bus, right? Can those be altered to make use of this change? Only on memory card slot B. So we could have an adapter, an SD Gecko, which is the version of the SD2 SP2 that works actually in the memory card slot. But it sounds like you might be able to have an updated SD Gecko with these faster U1 speeds, which is interesting. So I don't know. I don't believe this could be bodged in, so it sounds like you'd have to update. Everybody would have to hardware update their or get new versions of the SD to SP2 to take advantage of this. Which again, they're not expensive. I mean, we're still talking, existing SD2 SP2s are like $15, less than $50 for the original developer guy. even one from the Citrus 3000 PSI. Swiss memory cards are coming back. I don't know what you mean. Swiss memory cards. It's like the Mem Card Pro. It'd be cool if you could split save games and run Swiss through the Mem Card Pro. I've got one here. That'd be kind of cool, but I don't think that's a possibility. So anyways, I think that this is new enough where I think it might be pointless to do what I was going to do before, just compare the existing stuff, because I think that this is enough of an increase that maybe all FMV issues might, I can't say for sure. Like, I don't have one of these things yet. There could be better designed ones. I'd be curious if I should reach out to Dan and see if he would be interested in making a version of this, his own version that has red angle. I don't know how you could do that. I don't know if it's a matter of you need to have like really tight traces in the design in your PCB. I don't know. So it's really new, and it kind of throws. I personally think that it might invalidate anything that came before it as far as comparisons. So it's interesting for sure. I think there's enough of a benefit of the flippy drive. I'm gonna be back now. I think everything blew up. The computer stopped working. I don't know why. I'm here, but my iPhone camera stopped working. Oh, there we go. I'm back. I don't know what happened. That was weird. I hope you guys can hear me again still. Am I still live? I don't know how long was I down for. Gotta start the music again. That was really weird. I don't know. My computer just froze. That's the first time that this has happened. All right. Well, thanks for. Let me try to get the music again. Let's get this on. I think I'm back, right? Am I back? I'm just gonna tweet. Not sure what happened. Computer froze, but I'm back. All right. Enough of that. I mean, I think I'm back. There's about a 30-second delay on you guys anyway, so you wouldn't even be able to tell me right away. Which is obnoxious because Twitch just is starting to roll out their 4K 60 streaming, and I bet that Twitch's 4K streaming is probably real time. So YouTube, get on it, or I'm gonna leave to go to Twitch because I want the real time feedback. Okay, all right. Enough about the GameCube stuff. SD2 SB2 2.0 is cool, and it's probably coming, so we'll look into it. All right. So if you're if you've watched the streams for a while, if you're an older streamer, that doesn't make any sense, stream watcher, you might recognize this bad boy. This is from the Buyee stream. Does anyone remember the Buyee stream? Buyee is, well, what's interesting about Japan is you can buy stuff on Japanese, is there like a ban? Like, I don't know, I don't understand why they can't just ship directly from Yahoo Auctions Japan, which is like the eBay of Japan, I guess. Or there probably is eBay in Japan, I don't know. Anyways, but you can't ship directly from eBay or Yahoo Auctions Japan directly to the United States. So you have to go through a proxy seller. Anyway, so I got this Sharp company. They made TVs and stuff, a lot of consumer electronics. But they also made this. I think this is probably the best looking NES, hands down. I think that the top loader is cool. I think the AV Famicom is even cooler than the top loader, the North American top loader. But I think between the Famicom, the AV Famicom, the front loader North American NES, the top loader North American NES, and this, there was actually even two versions of this too. Two different colors, but there's also two different revisions of it too. And I don't remember which one I've got, but anyway, so I've had this for a long time, or a while, at least a year. And spot the problem. The disk drive, as far as I know, it works because I tested it with cartridges. It only has composite output. There is this guy. What is this? I don't know what kind of output, what this thing is. I'm not really sure. But it has composite video. Last Christmas, get out of here. What the hell is this song? Yeet. Okay. That's funny. So the problem is that this drive in here is busted. Not only does it not work, because I remember it not loading even with the disc in here, something is wrong with the mechanism, because if the disc is in, this should be popped out, and you should be able to pop it out. And I've tried, just with my fingers. I didn't put any tools in here because I think these are definitely disassemblable. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna try to do that tonight. We're gonna try to disassemble this and take this apart. So along with that, I've got some goodies. I guess we can travel down this road. I have some cool games, right? Like I have Super Mario Brothers 2. This would have been the Lost Levels in North America, but it was the Japanese. It came out in the disc, the Famicom disk system. So I have some games. We can go over them a little bit, but what I wanted to say is we can jazz this bad boy up eventually. I know everybody's gonna probably hate this, but eventually I would like to. I forgot to. Okay, before we get into this, just to complete that sentence, I suppose I have a replacement belt. I think this would work. The interesting thing, I believe, is that all of these disk drives are sort of universal, right? So a disk drive from here could fit in the Famicom disk system module, which I have some actually. So if it ends up being that this is totally busted, this disk drive, I believe that we can just take one from another Famicom disk system and put it in here. So if we can do that, because I have some. I have 2, I think. But we could try to replace this one. This says Twin Famicom on it, right? So this is a belt in there. I've never done this before, so this will be first. And you know, that's definitely not happening tonight, but I have a cap kit for it as well. And the goal, the end goal someday is to NES RGB this, but I don't exactly know. The problem with this is there's no really good way. Oh, I do know that there are some. I think that you can hijack this connector or something. I don't know. There's a couple of different ways that you can do it, like desoldering this thing, putting in another connector there. Some people just say heck with it and they put the multi out. They case cut it and put the multi out over here, which would probably be my ideal scenario, to be honest. But I understand that these are more rare than a Famicom or an NES, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. Right now, I just wanted to get it to work, the disk drive to work. Before I talk about that, though, I have some other Nintendo-related things. So I'm working my way toward. It'd be funny if Xtrems hopped in. This is not really an Xtrems, or not really a GameCube-related stream. Sometimes Xtrems wanders in when it's a GameCube-related stream, and he starts talking, yelling at me about what I'm doing wrong. What was I gonna say? So I posted. So okay, first, actually, I am trying to. I'm working toward getting one of these produced through PCBWay. This is not a PCBWay sponsor stream, but they do sponsor me other times. So this is the Lava RGB mod, which is supposed to be not a clone. I think this is actually distinctly different from an NES RGB. So it's an alternative to the NES RGB. So this is also the first time that I'm having PCBWay assemble a board for me. Typically when PCBWay sponsors my streams, they just produce the PCB and not populate any of it. Because I normally like to do that myself. But I figured that I would probably start trying to have them populate things. Like I just wanted to know more about that process, because why not, right? If they're going to sponsor me, and I honestly think that having PCBWay, it depends on the board, obviously, but in certain circumstances, it might make more financial sense for somebody to have boards created themselves through PCBWay assembled. They might be cheaper than it is to get them individually. Well, not. It's like, let's say you wanted to do like 3 or 4 NES RGBs or whatever. You might be able to get 5 of these produced by PCBWay, mostly populated. We'll talk about that during the actual stream. Than it would be to buy 5 NES RGBs. So I just want to know more about the assembly stuff. So that's what I'm trying to do. So they're building them now, or they're working on the PCBs now. I don't know if the actual PCBs are done yet or not, but they actually messaged me about the orientation of these tantalum capacitors, and I don't know that much about design that much, so I was like, what do you mean capacitors don't have a polarity? But they're talking about these tantalums up here, so they wanted to know which way in the top left corner, they want to know which way the tantalums went, and I had to show them this picture. So I hope they come out well. We still have to flash the firmware when they come, and we have to solder on one piece, one component, but we'll talk about that in a whole separate stream. But to install, I have to get a console to install that into. So I actually bought some Crocs. It's irrelevant. I bought this console on eBay. I basically found the cheapest NES listing on eBay, and there's this. This is a disgusting NES, man. It's got bugs and stuff. Like, I don't know where this console was stored, but it's a shame. And in the top lid, there was a bunch of bugs and stuff in it. Thankfully, this photo came out blurry, or you guys would be puking right now. I mean, you probably still are puking, but there's all these bugs in it. They're not roaches, but who knows what the heck. So this is a nasty thing. So I haven't even, I've been sick, so I haven't been even cleaning it, but I want to clean it out completely before it goes on screen at all. But it also looks like the RF module is rusty and stuff. So we also have did I show this off already? I don't remember if I showed this off. I've got the newest Merlin Shaw. This one is Zaxor approved. So I have the newest NES Revival companion, NES RGB companion module. So this is a replacement. Infected. Yeah, it's gross. The console is gross. So this is the newest replacement power module from NES or from Merlin Shaw. So the cool thing about this is, so it replaces the, I don't know what it replaces, the RF jack maybe, with a Genesis 2 style board here, or jack here. So it's kind of a no cut, but then there's also this this thing here, like a little breakout that has all the, so this is, instead of doing the multi-out, you can actually just solder the other end of these wires here directly to the NES RGB, or our case, the Lava RGB. So we're going big. We're doing this, and we're gonna do the Lava RGB in the bug build, we'll call it, I guess. I don't know, in the bug build, and we'll see how good that is. Although I've read some comments on AliExpress, because I guess you supposedly can get the Lava RGB from AliExpress, and some people were saying that it doesn't work in a North American NES. I don't know if that's, I don't know. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe it just didn't fit, because the ones you can get on AliExpress have these other connectors attached to them already. I don't know. We'll have to see. So I'm hoping that this will work well. Yeah, so that'll be a big build. I'm excited about that. All right, enough of that. Let's get into this Twin Famicom. Let's take it apart. Nope, not what I meant to do. There we go. All right, I've completely forgot how this goes apart. Let me, because this is so big. Oh, hey, Red Herring. Yeah, finally some good hardware. Yeah, composite only. That's funny. I'm surprised that you didn't have more to say about the that replacement PPU project that somebody told me about. Not somebody, but Laser Hertz told me about that replacement PPU thing. I don't know if that's really newsworthy, because it's pretty much impossible to get them here in the United States, but there was this replacement PPU thing that completely replaces the PPU, but it gives you RGB output. So it's like a little board that plugs or goes onto an NES where the PPU is. So it's kind of like the NES RGB, but it's like in place. I don't know how you get the output from it. Maybe there's output. So it's kind of like another alternative to the NES RGB. But it's, yeah. Welcome, Red. The other thing I would like to do is, as much as well, these are kind of nasty. These are kind of clapped out, but for as much as I like these wired controllers, I would like to get Jeff Chen's thingy, the Twin Diamond or whatever it's called, so they can use NES controllers, or basically so you can use wireless controllers, I mean. All right, let's take this apart. Got my JIS tip. Now we're talking the RGB Twin, yeah. Red Herring, where do you recommend to have the NES RGB output on a Twin Famicom? Where do you recommend to have it come out of the system? Just kidding. Oh, also, so this year was kind of the year of the Micro 8088. So like last year, I suppose, was the year of the Ashita. So I really busted my the Twin Diamond is dope. Yeah, I really busted my butt, and basically that's what killed me from doing videos. Basically, was the Ashita. So last year was the year of the Ashita. This year is the year of the Micro 8088 build, Next year, Tiny Nintendo? I have all the things. In fact, I probably just need some more bits, and I probably could do the, I have to extract a CPU and PPU. I have to do that. I don't know if I'm gonna do that on stream. That would be ridiculous to try to do that on stream. I wouldn't be able to do it here. I'd have to like go and stream from, like my garage or something. I don't know. Nowhere, but if you absolutely must, the DIN hole, it's already there. Yeah. Yeah, so what? I think a couple of people have done, what, you desolder this or something, or there's some, like... Isn't there somebody... there's no plug, though. Like, there's no good cables, right, that come out of that? Like, nobody... It would be cool if somebody made a module thing that plugged in here, right? Because this thing, it just kind of goes... I know, mine's all busted. Unfortunately, I cracked mine here when I was... I unfortunately cracked mine when I was cleaning it. This little cover thing for these cables. I don't know, maybe you could run some wires out here. This little slot and like put one here, that'd be cool. A multi-out, because there's enough room. So that would be kind of no cut. It'd be kind of hard to do. Actually, you could put a flex cable through there, right? I'm surprised nobody's thought of that. Has no one thought of putting a flex cable there, and then you could like design some 3D print so you could put one of those just a multi-out there. That's a good idea. I've done a lot of disc systems, refurbs, but never had one with a disc stuck inside. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm hoping that the mechanism is not totally busted. I gotta get some tweezers. I'm hoping the mechanism is... I can't talk tonight. I'm still sick, by the way, if you weren't here in the beginning of the stream. I'm hoping the mechanism isn't busted. Hoping it's just a... These are some chonky screws. I'm hoping it's just, I don't know, gunk. Gunk would be the best case scenario, right? Because I could just clean it and then things would be better. But we just want to get it back to stock condition before I do anything drastic with the... But, oh yeah, so I do want to, I would like to, you're rebuilding it. You mean you're redesigning it or you're building another one? What do you mean? You're printed out the latest case? What do you mean? You're remaking it before I even made one? I also would like to do your Xbox build. I really think I'm very interested in that. Portable Xbox, for sure. Especially now that there's custom cables from... Actually, am I supposed to do something here? Do I have to unplug these cables first? Or can this top part just come off? Yeah, thanks, scruffy looking RGB. Okay, let's see. What do we got? Okay, so we have this guy going up here. All right, let's see. Can I take this off? Okay. All right, so that's good to come off. I cleaned all this stuff when I first got the console, so it should be relatively clean. I mean, it's stained. I think whoever owned this was a smoker, but because I don't necessarily know if these systems what's the word I'm looking for? Like change colors that much. Although, as you can see, these things do. Does anybody know if they make replacements of these? Because I could use some. I mean, other than that, I mean, actually, I didn't clean the controllers. That's the only thing I didn't clean. I cleaned the body of the system. I didn't clean the controllers. But if anybody knows of replacement stickers for the controllers, I would love to replace them to make this thing look better. All right, so then that pretty much exposes this the drive here. Now I'm 1,000% unfamiliar with anything about this, but it doesn't look that difficult. Looks like there's only one set of wires up here. So I think we could just unscrew these. There's 4 screws it looks like, and then undo the connector, and then I can lift the whole thing up without much fuss, which is good. So let's do that. Let's get these out. I don't think I have to remove that much. My Tiny Nintendo was a design from before I open sourced. It was a yucky prototype. Oh, so that $40 that I wasted on that screen, is there a new screen? Well, that's fine. I'm not yelling at you. I didn't print any of the PCBs yet, or have any of the PCBs made. The only thing I bought was that $40 screen. I'm hoping you kept the screen, but if not, so be it. I'm upgrading it to the latest release version. I don't know what you mean by latest release version. Oh, like what are you upgrading about it? Other than moving to KiCad? I've seen some overlays, but not for the Twin. I have to refurb my Twin. It has the same, really? It has the same problem with the disc stuck in it? That's kind of interesting. I always thought that they were kind of, well, actually, you know what? It's funny. All right, let's try to remove this thing. These drives are very tall. And now that makes sense because I have some of the, Famicom disc. Actually, I have one over here. Well, actually, I think I might only have one disc unit. It is very big. So this is what the standalone unit would have looked like for the Famicom. So your Famicom would have gone on top, and then you have some memory module that plugged into the Famicom, and then it plugged in the back here somewhere. But it's very tall, right? It's pretty, I mean, it's deep. It's not like, if you look at a 3.5-inch floppy drive, actually, I don't know, what time, this came out before the 3.5-inch drive, right? It's just an interesting form factor. So this is a Mitsumi Elecco Limited. This is a Mitsumi drive. That's the head, I believe, right? Pretty interesting. Still the same screen, but mine didn't have 18650s. It had a custom LiPo, and the case had terrible support of the cartridge slot. Okay, that's cool. Well, I'm glad that you're going to have an updated version. Then if it means a better system for me, I guess. I'm surprised that you haven't. Have you built an Ashita? I feel like you would like building an Ashita. Although, yeah, I don't know. Seems like it'd be a cool thing. Maybe you have. I don't know. The Ashita needs a lot of work. I think the Ashita needs a lot of flex cables, because right now it's a lot of hand wiring and I hate it. That's the worst part about it. I don't think people would be charging $1,000 to do them if it wasn't for all the hand wiring. That's my opinion. Actually, people would charge probably more than that, right? If you can get somebody to do it. All right, so should I try to just eject? Should I try to just get it out? I don't know how these look when they're good. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I can just pull the drive out. I hope I'm not ruining anything. Oh, so okay, well, this was Green Beret apparently. I forgot what disc I even stuck in here. So 1987. I have a feeling that this was before what, 3.5-inch hard drives. This is basically a floppy disk before 3.5-inch floppy disks, I think. Pretty interesting form factor. It's basically sort of like a modern, or a 3.5-inch floppy drive, but double the thickness, double the height. I built the G-Boy, never the Ashita. Okay. Well, I feel like I do know that the 4-layer boards, there's a lot of the 4-layer, let's put this aside because we won't need it right now. So basically now I have to Google how to refurbish this, or how to clean this out. So I'll have to look for a guide. Yeah, that's my problem with the Ashita, is that there's still, even with all the 4-layer tech stuff, right? So the PMS PD, power delivery board, yeah, they have a lot of boards. The front button board, the controller boards and stuff. There's still a lot of hand soldering of wires, which are like little thin cables. So I guess that I would appreciate if it was more flex cable stuff. All right. I know for as not interesting as this, oh look, it gets stuck somewhere. For as not interesting as this is, I think I'm gonna try to Google a guide on how to refurbish or how to clean these. I think that's just what it needs. I think it just needs to be cleaned. So let's do that. This is gonna be a very Amazing stream. Go to the YouTubes. Look at all the videos that I like. I was listening to some jazz. Does anybody like jazz? I started listening to some jazz. I don't really know that much about it, but it's nice when I have to work. I watched like one of these guys' videos, Theo. He's like a software developer guy. And now it's like he's everywhere. All of my suggested. All right, how to clean a Famicom disk drive. Clean the rails, relube required parts, replace the belt. Usually sums it up. Yeah, I don't think it's that difficult. I got the belt. I've got some, I don't know what kind of lube to use, but I probably just use super lube because I've got it handy. I've got some isopropyl alcohol. I probably might need Q-tips, right? Let me go get some Q-tips. Q-tips. Get me the Q-tips. Oh, it's hot in my room. All right. Let's see. Hey, scruffy looking RGB. All right, fine. Let's see what you got. Scruffy looking RGB. All right, let's pause. Let's pause the Muzak. All right, let's see. Put me away. Where's the overhead camera? Yes. Sickos be like, yes. Yes. Oh, upside down. Search history on live stream and starts a query. How to. Well. Nope, don't slow that down. I wouldn't YouTube that stuff, but whatever. I don't know. All right, let's go. Oh no, not this. This is not what I. Ah. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's see. This is from a year ago. Oh no, this is gonna get me banned. No music.
No joke, my batteries have lasted for the past 3 years. This is the RAM adapter for the disk system that you insert into your Famicom cartridge slot. I'm sure you noticed the familiar shape on the underside here. It has a loading light for when the disk is being read, and a nice yellow eject button. Of course, the complementary burgundy red Famicom color. It was really well designed to complement the original red and white Famicom. Disassembly of the outer shell. There are 6 screws in the bottom side located here. Once those are out, the top pulls off quite nicely to reveal the drive.
Okay, so it basically is the same layout, right? It's got the same type of scruffy looking RGBs. Also is a Mitsumi one. I think there are different models, but ours are the same, so that's good.
Then 6 more screws, 4 on the drive and 2 on the battery holder above. You don't need to remove the battery holder, but it's really hard to remove the power board connector on the back of the drive if you don't. You'll see what I mean in a moment. And lift the drive slightly and pull up the face of the shell. Be careful with the wire connected to the LED indicator. There is one screw to remove.
It's a little bit different layout.
Now this is one annoying point. The cable that goes from the power board to the drive unit is really held in tight. So if you don't remove the screws on the battery holder, you will have a difficult time getting enough grip to disconnect this cable. It has 18 pins, so be
Mine came out
cautious
pretty well.
not
I
to
think
bend any of them. This is the very crumbly belt that is used to spin the drive, and you'll find these little bits here and there inside your disk system. Remove the power board by taking out the 2 screws holding it down.
Okay,
Then remove the 4 inner drive feet. Let's remove the original stickers, keep it intact, and lift up. reapply it and keep it safe. Remove much deep cleaning.
Okay, so let's go to the actual
and wash it in some warm
drive disassembly.
Disassembly of the drive unit. Be careful when removing the drive unit because it's made of metal and there are sharp edges. There are 3 screws to remove from the back of the drive unit. Don't remove the recessed screw in the upper right corner just yet.
Pause. All right, let's take these screws out. I know the window's upside down, but let's see. Can we fix that? Hello. Okay, so then what? Does this come out? What is this? Is this just... Wow, look at that. Huh. All right, not touching anything.
Here is what is left of our crumbly old rubber drive. It is well fused to the gold spindle here and the white plastic wheel here too. So to get in, we have to remove these 4 screws on the drive circuit board. Pay attention to where the screws go because there are 3 different types of screws here. Before we remove them, we have to loosen up some wires on the opposite side of the drive unit. There are 3 locations to pay attention to. You will need a strong prying tool for 2 of them. I'm just using my screwdriver.
All right, let me get
pry
my
up
spudger. Got a little plastic doodad. All right, what?
Little hooks here and there. And also make sure these wires are on the outside of this little hook here. Now we can remove the screws. The first one here.
All right, so I just got to bend these little hookies up. So here's one. This might not be enough chutzpah. Plastic spudger might not be enough. Okay, I think those could come out. Oh, there you go. All right, so it just needs to come out from under that. Then it also looks like I just need to... that. And then, last but not least, is this one over here. How to do this one? Okay, that. Hope I didn't bend that too high up. All right, now what? I can remove these. And there's 3 different types of screws. There's this one. Wait, let me go back.
You will need the opposites. Before we...
Flat screw, regular screw, screw with washer. Okay, so this is the flat screw. Oh yeah, look at that. It's like a panhead screw. than the regular screw. I don't know what the difference is. Oh, the head is flatter, I suppose. And then this guy, screw with washer. Cool.
Remove them. One here is the one with the flat head. The one diagonally across from it has a cog-looking washer on it, and then the other two.
Oh, sorry, you guys
opposite
probably
of each
can't hear
other
what I'm doing, huh?
Are just the basic dome-shaped screws. There is a white connector. I like to remove this because it allows for more space, and you don't need to worry as much about ripping it off on accident while working on the drive belt. It's a bit of a pain, but just go slow and take your time. In my opinion, it's worth it to remove while you replace the belt and do your cleanup. Clean up the remaining rubber belt. I don't know how these rubber belts get fused to this little spindle here, but they're really stubborn to remove.
They're talking about this, I suppose? So the belt looks fine. I'll show you in a second. Okay.
I like to use a non-metal object to scrape at it, like this wood cushy stick or a plastic
Most
sharp
of the Xbox
edge.
Portable is going to be flexes, controller halves or FFC, videos, flexes, storage, and network will be flexes. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm excited about that. There'll be still wiring, but I've designed out all the wiring I hated doing. Yeah, that's a good idea. I would say that anytime that you hate long runs of wire or whatever, try to figure out a way to make it a flex cable. Scruffy sort of sounds like Tito. Yeah. Good voice. Good video voice. Either way. Yeah. Yep. Not bad. Production value. Production quality. All right. So let me switch over quickly. They're taking apart their black one, but if you look at mine, mine has a clear one. Although, maybe this was just a stopgap, because look at the disgustingness in there. It's possible that this is a replacement. This was a replacement, maybe? How does it get onto this? Does this still come off? Well, anyways, it looks like I have to take this apart, and I want to try to scrape some of the gunk out. This is pretty interesting, clear band, though. It looks like it's, this is very hard to show. No, we'll do this too. Clear isn't OEM. Yeah, I figured it would be an aftermarket one. So there's a lot of gunk. It looks like maybe like it was tarnished. Oh, you guys can't see. How do I clean that? Well, let's see what happens with some maybe IPA and a Q-tip. Probably nothing, but try it. Looks like it needs to be cleaned with like a scraper or something. Oh, it looks like it might be coming. Some of the gunk is coming off, maybe? Ah. Well, let me see what happens when I do this metal. Maybe a wooden toothpick is a better idea. All right, hold on. Well, actually, I got the spudger. Let's try the spudger again. I don't know anything about this console, by the way. I just bought it straight from Buyee. I cleaned it, but I didn't service it or anything. Huh. I wonder what is a better way to clean this, like WD-40 or something? My delicate hands. Let's see what Scruffy says.
Then if you add a little IPA on a cotton swab, the process tends to go much faster. Finally, it's free of the old rubber belt remnant.
Oh yeah, this has a lot less junk on it. Okay, he looked like he was having success with a, like a, I don't know, toothpick or something, brass brush. Let's actually see. Do I have one of those up here? I'm afraid of putting too much. Let's see. I have a brass brush up here. I'm afraid of going too hard on it. No, I know where I have one downstairs. I've got one in the my 3D printing stuff, but I don't have one in my room here. Well, all right. Hold that thought. Let me go get the brass brush, and a toothpick. I'll be right back. Okay, hello, I'm back. I would suggest a brass brush instead of a steel because the pulley is brass. Okay, so I use these for my 3D printer a lot. I know it's not ideal, probably this part is probably not ideal, but I have this part at least. Might be good to get in there. And then I've got 2 toothpicks. So let's first get at it with some more IPA in that Q-tip. I mean, that Q-tip got some off. It's like oxidation or something. Okay. Now let's hit it with this. That's not really helping. Let's see. Yeah, this is bad. This is really oxidized for a long time, probably. Try this side. This brass brush sucks. That's what I'll say. Be brash with the brass brush so you can brush the brass. No, you. This is going to take forever. Let's try it with this. I wish this was out of the way. I mean, one of two things is going to happen. I'm either going to stab myself with a tweezer or break the spindle. Wait, does this... Hold on. What am I... It looks like this motor can just drop right out, right? There we go. Okay. That gives me a little more... leverage. Whatever. Just using the brush is like brushing my fingers. All right, let me, there we go. Let's get some IPA in this situation. Problem is the bristles are like not very stiff. Oh, there we go. Kind of coming. You guys want to just watch me do this for an hour? Whatever, it needs to get done. And I've got nothing else to do. Okay, we're getting somewhere, I guess. Toothpick didn't really do anything. It's not hard enough. Maybe a little bit. Okay. Let's have some water while we let some IPA soak in. Hey, yo. Yeah, just take a nap. Come back in like 10 minutes. That's funny. That is funny. You know what's funny is when I first started watching streams, I was really big into League of Legends. And it would literally just be, I used to watch I'm a Cutie Pie a lot. This guy, I'm a Cutie Pie. So it would literally just be you watching somebody else. Sometimes they would say nothing. They'd just be like playing the game. But like they wouldn't say anything. They would just be playing most of the time. Like they wouldn't be talking to chat. Like that's what streaming used to be. It was just like, even the most popular streamers, it was just you watching them play video games. Sometimes it would be boring. Sometimes it would be entertaining. But the League of Legends is kind of a boring game in the beginning, you know? So it's like a lot of that stream was just nothing. Pretty funny how far things have gone. Nowadays, if you don't have like a whole like curriculum planned out, people just don't want to watch you. very cutthroat. Not cutthroat, but it's just hard to keep people entertained. Like people are like, why should I watch? I mean, that's the right, it's fine. I'm not like complaining about that aspect of it. It's just, it's kind of like YouTube too. It's elevated as people got better at it. People expect more of everyone, even the new people. So it's like, what are you gonna do? We're getting there. This part is kind of cleanish. This side, better than it was. This side still needs a lot. Maybe it's not great to do this side to side, so you don't like scar the belt. I don't know. All right, let's hit it with some Q-tip. League is a waste of 20 minutes till surrender. Yeah, I got way into it too, and I feel League of Legends is one of those games that's like, I don't know, it's almost not worth playing. Like there's like times when games are fun. It's like maybe 1 in 5 games are fun, and then otherwise it's just terrible. People treat each other terribly. The more that I got into it, the more I realized that it's not worth just always surrendering. Like if you don't just give up, but like if somebody on your team gives up, then I feel that I firmly believe that like most of the time, if you're good enough, you could probably carry pretty much almost any game, every game. But I don't know. I watch. Sometimes I do still watch Tyler One, who's a popular League streamer still, like to this day. And he'll say like he's 1v9, which is like it's something you say when your team is so bad and the other team, like basically your team is against you. Your team is so bad that they're on the other team basically playing against you. So you have to go 1v9 and like carry your team to win. Pretty funny. Okay, so the bottom looks fine-ish, but now I gotta look at the top up here. As someone who knows jack shit about streaming, what was the first big deal competitive gaming genre to stream outside the FGC that fans watch with similar fervor, plus multiple hype commentators? I mean, for me, it was League of Legends. At the time when Twitch, this was right about the same time that Justin TV was dead, or that it went away, was that the predecessor to Twitch, I guess. So right when Twitch was first becoming a thing, that was like the big place where everyone went to stream games and stuff. For me, it was all about League of Legends. The interesting thing was Riot Games, which was the developers of League of Legends. They had a really interesting thing. Like they were highly involved with the streaming scene, enough that they streamed their tournaments like every week. Was it every week? I guess it was every week. They would have like this. It's called the League Championship Series. So like it would be all the teams that were playing would play every day. You would have like a bunch of matches to watch, and when you're so the game creators are in on it. Like right, they're hosting these live streams. They have the commentary is awesome because it's like sometimes it's former League players themselves doing the commentary, so it's very much interesting, because it's people with actual opinions about the gameplay. And it was like the wrestling kind of, how it's like it's that quasi it's sort of like wrestling is fake, but like it's also sort of not. Like it's a thing that people like, storylines and stuff that people watch, right? People watch to see who's going to win and stuff. So they root for the teams. It's sort of like sports, I suppose. The esports, like when that was starting to be a thing. So for me, early Twitch streaming was all about League of Legends, and it wasn't until, I don't know, PUBG maybe. There wasn't another game that made a dent. Maybe CS:GO, but Riot really did have a good understanding of the scene and the streaming scene. But then it all kind of, I don't know, all sort of fell apart. MLG, yeah, MLG was a thing for a bit too. I guess Halo, I suppose, too, right? Halo was a good way before that. That was before Twitch, though. But that was an organization, I suppose, right? That was pretty big. Ranked solo queue was bad. Yeah, it's not even the same game. Ranked solo queue and the professional game it's not even the same game, basically. I always hated ranked solo queue because like I get really competitive and then like it's just bad for my health, right? Like I get competitive, then if I do bad, I like get angry at myself and like it just is really bad. I know it seems so stupid, but or maybe you can relate. This is bad for my health. Like the 1 in 5 games, whatever that you're gonna do well. It's definitely not worth putting yourself through the other 4 games. Well, this is definitely all scratched up. I did not intend to. I wish I had a better a brass scrapey tool. Some kind of brass, like harder brass brush than this. But most of the corrosion, you can see the green powder here. Probably not great to breathe. Not like I'm huffing it, but I don't know. So when I think of Twitch, I think of old school Twitch when it first came out, when they had League of Legends and stuff. It wasn't really about, not to say that it wasn't about that, but like individuals just kind of streaming their own game was not really something that I was interested in then. the well-referenced there. Yeah, I was just in the right place at the right time, I suppose. Like there was probably other people that have other experiences with Twitch. I kind of got off of it too after I stopped playing League, and it wasn't really until recently that I have a friend, Manic Socratic, who I found out about him around COVID, and he Twitch streams, and he kind of gave me the motivation to do the YouTube channel. So that's about the time that I found him. Okay, I think this is probably good enough. It's not amazing. It's kind of scratched up, but most of that corrosion or whatever it was, oxidation, is gone. The issue is, it's a little scraped up. But let me just hit it one more time with the Q-tip, try to get more of that oxidation off. I probably, if I had like a Dremel, some kind of a buffer outer thing on a Dremel, I probably could hit it with that. Clean it up better than I did. But, alright, that's that. So let's try to put this together. Oh, run the motor and try to brush it? Yeah, maybe. I don't think you'd get that much. I tried to get decent in rank before I had kids. It's a huge time sink too. Like I only ever got silver. So if you know what that is, it's like the second lowest, at least, well, actually before they introduced the new lower one, there was like bronze or something. Or what was below bronze? There's something below bronze now, wood or something. So that's the second lowest rank. This is how it works? Yeah. So I was not that good. Yeah. And I played for a lot of seasons. I started playing it like season... I think I have a season 2. No, maybe not 2. I don't know. I have a very old profile icon. Oh, it's a ranked season 2, so I don't know where that is comparison to how long the league was doing it, but yeah, my hands are all nasty. My fingers. Gotta wash my hands after this. Okay. So that's that. All right, let's get back to the video. Kind of trudge along here.
Removing the metal retainer and gear wheel. There are 3 long screws.
Okay, take those off.
Once the screws are out, it becomes very loose, and you want to rotate it clockwise and pull it slightly up and out to the left. It takes a little bit of force to do.
Use the force.
But it's not terribly difficult. Just to repeat, I want to show you the motion I use a few times here. Rotate it clockwise and pull it slightly up and out to the left.
Hold on, what?
When it's time to put it back, you'll want to do the same way, but in the opposite direction, of course. Here is a little piece of belt I forgot about. If you look closely, there's a tiny bit of belt residue left behind. Let's give it a quick wipe with a cotton swab and some IPA. Installing the new belt. This is a Mobilon band. I bought this bag off of Amazon a few years back.
Mobilon band. Is that the same that I had that was on here? How do you take this thing off, man? Ah, okay. Come off. Oh, I see. It kind of like has to go around the thing. So is this one of those Mobilon bands? It's the clear plastic.
I'll leave a link in the description. They're made in Japan. They're made of latex and they are sulfur free, so that's good enough for
latex.
me. The clear nature of it makes it a little hard to see, unfortunately, but you want to orient it on the metal retainer like so.
I'm not sure if mine even needs this
before you return it to its home.
Part.
This can be quite a fiddly process.
Oh, perfect.
And pull the other end around the opposite side as shown. I'm using my finger to hold it in place so it doesn't slip off and get tangled. But you can add a piece of tape here if you prefer that way. Then your fingers are free to concentrate on replacing the...
Go back.
Tape here. Hold it in place. Pull the other end so then your fingers are free.
Okay. Is there anything I need to do on this side, or is it more cleaning on the underside? All right, let's try to get that. Like this.
Free to concentrate on replacing the metal retainer piece. Once the metal retainer has been reseated properly, you want to wrap the band around the 2 wheels, the tiny gold wheel and then the big white wheel.
Going too fast. Okay. So I think I got this part seated here. The bushing, whatever this is, the whatever. It's here, and then what did he say? You want to focus on getting the... Why does it look like... Hold on, go back. Oh, we're not there yet. Okay. Oh, I didn't even look if there's parts of the wheel still on there. There's just a little bit of dirt. I'm going to try to clean that part. The top of this. The top of this part here. There's like this other rubber part here. I don't think that's where it goes, but it goes on top of that, I guess. So, lost the top of my IPA bottle. Let's see if I can try to clean that. Okay. Not bad, just a little bit of dirt. Okay. Like that? Yeah, that's right. Goes on the top of this piece.
Try not to kink the belt like I did here. I managed to finagle the belt and get it straight. It only took me 2 tries here, but when it is in, you should not have any kinks. It should be resting on the white wheel and gold wheel like so. Removing the spring-loaded top. This is the scariest part of this refurb.
Okay, I think I did that right? So it's on the top of that wheel, and it goes to this bushing motor, and when you spin it, there's no flips in the band. Cool. All right, so now we have to do what? Flip it back over.
The point here is to hold one side of the spring while unhooking it, or it may fly off and get lost really easily. A pair of tweezers will really come in handy for this. Use a finger to hold the top side of the spring and use the tweezers to unhook the spring.
Okay.
Then pull the spring off safely and store it in a nice... for this. Use a finger to hold the top side of the spring and use the tweezers to unhook the spring.
Hold on, keep going back.
One side of the spring, the wheel like so. Removing the spring-loaded top. This is the scariest part of this refurbish because of the tiny 3 springs you must remove. The point here is to hold one side of the spring while unhooking it, or it may fly off and get lost really easily. A pair of tweezers will really come in handy for this.
Oh, okay, so we just send it. Oh, that wasn't that bad. Okay, 1 spring. Whoop. Where's the other springs? On the other side?
Use a finger to hold the top side of the spring and use the tweezers to unhook the spring.
Are these all the same size?
Then pull the spring off safely and store it in a nice safe place. Repeat the process for the other 2 springs. You also have to remove the face plate of the drive by taking out these 2 screws. Now the top will...
Hold it. Okay. The faceplate of the... Oh. Okay. All right, so let's get that done. I may actually clean the deep clean the faceplate with some soap and water. Well, we'll see how hard it is to just get the disc to come in and out well. Yeah. Oh, my hands are nasty. Yeah, I would like to clean in here better. But let's just focus on... Let's see. Well, I'll just use a... while I'm here. Some dust bunnies. Bye, dust bunnies. All right. Now what? Will this just come off now? Oh, yeah. Not many dust bunnies in here. Probably could use a some compressed air. Ugh. Is this a sad attempt at putting grease on these rails? All right, let's go back to the video.
Come off. You might need to use your tweezers to release the
same
white
video
latch.
you used last refurb.
Now we can see the spindle head and a lot of grime and dust that's built up over the years. Use this opportunity to do a little cleaning with IPA and a cotton swab. If you remove any of the grease, make sure to replace it afterward. It keeps the gears moving smoothly.
Okay, so
Aligning the spindle head. You want to focus on this point here. There are 3 layers of metals that you need to line up to make what looks like a hole. We want to line them, but we have to get the drive in a certain spot before we can do that. So if we flip the drive over, you can see by moving the gear here with your finger, you can get the drive to slowly cycle. It takes quite a bit of force from your finger to get this moving. Once it gets to that point, you should hear a click of the drive.
Oh.
At this point, we stop spinning the gear. Now we want to align the spindles flat side with the screw to be facing the disc reader. So you'll need a tiny Allen wrench for this job. Make it loose.
Wow, this is a lot more complicated than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so let's talk about that. So there's grease. I just took some off. So there's grease here, here, here. And then on each one of these 4, is there 4 or 3? Yeah, four rails, here, 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 and here. So it looks like probably you could lube these rails here, black pegs, when I put it back together, right? Or maybe the tops of these rails. Seems like that's where this rests on. But then what, these, because they move, oh, this whole thing moves back and forth. Got it. Okay, so that's where I want to add the grease to. Should I remove this grease and just add the super lube? I guess so, right? Don't know. It doesn't really look like there's any lube at all on these things. I'm in on the surfaces where they're supposed to be. There's lube in the middle here. All right, so now it's clean. Ah! Ooh, it seems like this... That's what's supposed to happen when the disc is in there, right? All right. Let's... Should I wait until the end? I guess I'll wait to the end to add the lube back on there. Oh, and then this... And then the heads here, right? These tracks here. Excuse me. Yeah, so these bars also, this, y'all need more lube. So these pegs, these 3 bars, and then the rails here. All right, let's see what this thing with aligning the heads is. So basically I need to spin the motor, spin the disc until the something clicks and pops up. I don't know which way to spin. Let's see. Which way do I spin it?
Spin it to face the black arm. Tighten it back down.
Go back.
And we want to line them, but we have to get the drive in a certain spot before we can do that. So if we flip the drive over, you can see by moving the gear here with your finger, you can get the drive to slowly cycle. It takes quite a bit of force from your finger to get this moving.
Oh, was I supposed to put these screws back?
Once it gets to that point,
I think maybe I was supposed to put these screws back, so let's do that. Let's put these screws back because I don't think there's anything else we can do on the bottom here. I don't think Scruffy mentioned that. That's right. All right. Oh God, it does take a lot of force. Can I just spin this? Nope. Ow, this kind of hurts my finger. Oh, just spinning that doesn't do anything. You gotta spin the whole... Okay, I've never done this before, so I'm trying to get a feel of it. Which way do I have to spin this thing? It doesn't go anymore that way. Oh, look, there's a bunch more grease here. So I have to remember to do that one too. Maybe it's not good to move these without any grease on it. Okay, I think the problem was that the belt came off. Belt keeps rubbing against this thing and it won't let me move it anymore. All right, let me back up.
Slowly cycle. It takes quite a bit of force from your finger to get this moving.
Which direction you go? Okay, so from here,
the drive to slowly cycle. It takes quite a bit of force from your finger to get this moving. Once it gets to that point, you should hear a click of the drive. At this point, we stop spinning the gear.
okay, so my
Now
problem
we want
was
to align the spin.
the belt kept slipping up. Okay, so now I gotta just wait, I think. Nothing is moving. Man, I didn't think this was going to be that hard. Shows what I know. Shows what I know. Okay, wait, so now the sled is moving. Was this supposed to be pushed in? Is this supposed to be pushed in? Took you days to get yours working? Oh boy. I don't know what the best kind of grease is to put in here. Maybe I should have looked into that. All right. This annoying belt. Like, I wish the belt wasn't in there. Like, the direction it was spinning. Looks like it doesn't want to spin that way anymore. It only wants me to go the other way. Oh, now we're moving again. Is this supposed to be in all the way, maybe? This part? Oh, now we got some movement. Oh, there we go. I heard a thunk. That's right, right? Yay, I heard a thunk. Okay, so now, because right, he said that this this part here should have the 3 plates line up. So you have the top part, the part in the middle, and then the part in the bottom. They're all lining up now. Okay, cool. Let's go back and let's see what else we got to do.
Spindles, flat side with the screw to be facing the disc reader.
So
you'll need a tiny Allen wrench for this job.
Oh wait,
make it loose.
This looks like it's correct.
Spin it to face the black arm.
Oh, mine's already there.
Tighten it back down.
Excuse me, let me just show you what I'm talking about.
And your disc system black arm. Tighten it back down.
See, mine is already that orientation.
And your disc system has been aligned. Let's get everything back together and see how our refurbing work has gone. When you return the top of the drive, make sure to lift the spring-loaded arm up so that it rests above the top piece of plastic. Be careful with the little springs, one finger on the bottom while you connect the top. Reseat the cables and wires.
Okay, so it looks like all I have to do now is lube everything. And put that tray back on. Let me get a paper towel so I can clean the gunk off the tray. I'll have to Google what is the best lube to use, because I don't know if super lube is the best. Okay, it's not so bad. So I need to put some gunk on the 3 things here, the slidey bit here, and the 4. All right, let's go to Google. Go to the Google. Lube for Famicom disk drive. Lithium grease. Silicone grease. So super lube is PTFE, or it has PTFE. All right, let's see. I do have some white lithium grease, but downstairs. Oh, super lube. 2130? Is that what I've got? Oh yeah, part number 2130. This would probably be fine. You know, and I just say YOLO, right? Just try it, and then we can know for sure it won't work, or will or won't work. All right. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get all of this done. Ooh, at least I can slide this mechanism. Okay. Let's just get this grease on here, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this tonight, but it'll be fun to just paint the grease on. So I'm going to try this super lube. So I think in a nutshell, the places that we want to get grease are on these 3 rails. This one, and this one. And then there's these 3 posts here, which also this eject mechanism. It's like this part. So like one here, and one there. So that makes this part slide well. But then also the rails, the 4 side rails. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, which the pegs on the plastic cartridge thing sits on. All right, let's give it a whirl. I mean, this stuff's pretty thick. I'm going to put quite a bit of it-ish on this part. And I'll put more on this one. Because it seemed like there was quite a bit. And you'll see, I'll move it in a minute. All right, so we should be able to move this part. I don't know if it's thick enough. Don't really have any on the bottom either. At least this one I can paint the bottom. Can't really get at the other 2. And then at least we can cycle it a bit, right? Okay. Now we want to do this part. So like, let me get some on the... We get some in these little things, but then also on the surface. This part. Ugh. Yuck. Then in here. Gross. This is like a mixture of the old lube and the new lube, and it's gross. I don't know. This part still feels kind of rough. Guess it got better. So I guess it just needs to be like on the inside of this. All right, it's pretty smooth, I suppose. U-lube, indeed. And then I guess I'm going to do the face, so these 4 pieces here. Although I suppose I could also just do directly on these pegs here. I might just do that instead. All right, let's try it. Let's get these. Don't exactly know where on this part these touch, but lube it all. Not really how it works, but okay. Let's see, how do we put this back together?
Plastic. Be careful with the arm up. Let's get everything back together and see how our refurbing work has gone. When you return the top of the drive, make sure to lift the spring-loaded arm up so that it rests above the top piece of plastic. Be careful with the little springs, one finger on the bottom while you connect the top.
Hold it. Oh, I see. So it goes on a peg thing, and then aha. Okay. Like that. I guess I should probably clean the. Oh, no, that's just fabric. Okay. So that sits on a little thing. Okay, so now it's like that. You know what, I'm gonna get a little more lube on those rails. That, okay. So now when this goes in, cool. And then to make it come down, I guess the disc has to be in there. And all right, so we try to get those springs on. All right, let's see. Springy Springer. Okay, there's one. And we've got two more on the side. Just kind of putting them on the top side and then using the tweezers to stretch them to the bottom side. Goes pretty easily. Give it a huck too. That's such a dumb meme. Oh God, I saw that, but it was stupid. Cool. Look at that. That's terrible. All right, teach me, Scruffy.
Reseat the cables and wires. Note the black lever may need to be guided into its hole when returning the circuit board to its home. Reseat the cables and wires.
Okay. I think it goes like that. I gotta get this this guy on here. I keep laughing at that. Come on. Oh, God. Okay, now I can do this. How in the world? This motor's on the right way, right? Okay. Okay, so then this part's in, but now it says that I gotta guide this part in. This black lever goes back there. Does it go in front of that? I guess it goes in front of this, right? It's getting stuck here. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Now I gotta put these screws back in. There's 4 screws, so that's the one with the... the O-ring or whatever. Oh, that's the faceplate. Do I need to put the faceplate on now? Or can I do that out? Oh! Okay, can I do the faceplate after this? Probably. These two. Yeah. Pretty much. All right, let's get the faceplate on. At this point, I probably could try the eject part, right? What the heck? Okay, so that one's going in well. What is going on with this? Hold that thought. Why? Okay, there we go. Just had to get it started in the metal. Okay, got them both on. I guess I could probably try the mechanism now, right? This doesn't seem right, though. I bet you this motor is on backwards or sideways. Huh. Well, I may need to fix this because, let's see, does he flip it back over?
Replace the screws in their correct locations. The bottom of the drive should latch plate cable to its hole when returning the circuit.
Oh yeah, look, the motor is like 90 degrees. Okay, so this is not right for sure. Oh, that's not great. Well, that's fine. It looks like I just need to take the PCB back off, and then the motor is exposed there. I just got to find the right orientation. So that should be fine. But we can test the mechanism, right? My problem was discs were not able to come in and out. So if it doesn't work now, then it's not going to work when I fix the wires. All right, let's try disc. Hey, look at that. Like a glove. Wow, I wonder what was wrong with it. Just the gunk? Very cool. So other than this motor, I think I put it back wrong because I took it out to clean the brass. And then obviously I want to test it, and I got to make sure that the belts are in the right spot. But yeah, because look at that. The belts are all cattywampus. I think it should be fine. Yeet! All right. I'm happy with that for now. Like I said, I do have to fix a couple things on it and then even put it back in the Famicom. But at least the mechanism works. I don't know why it was busted. The grease, it was too stuck maybe. I don't know. didn't go. Maybe the springs are off. The springs look fine. I'm gonna guess it was just not enough grease, because the spindle was in the right spot. I didn't need to line anything. I probably added too much grease, if I'm being honest. It does have a very satisfying, I just want to look at it. It does have a very satisfying mechanism when it's working. Right? Shoop. This part like comes down on it. Hawk 2. Pretty cool. All right, I'm over time tonight. I gotta go take the dog out. But thanks everyone for watching. I know this is kind of a different stream. If you missed the very beginning, I talked about why this is not the GameCube stream, other than me being sick. I probably wouldn't want to do on this stream anyways. But Extrems is working on the SD2 SB2 version 2, which should have faster transfer speeds. And according to their tweets, their hardware is not the official hardware. They were just working on something to get the software done. So either that means that nobody's working on it, it's going to be a while, or maybe somebody's working on it, a redesign. So we're just going to have to wait either way, I suppose, to find out. But it sounds like maybe they might be able to overcome some of the FMV stuttering things with some of the other, like the Peekaboo. And if that's the case, then it might even be less. It basically gives it a little bit more favor, in my opinion, over the other mods, the GC Loader and the Flippy Drive. So we're gonna have to see. I just like playing with this thing; it's fun. I wonder if whoever put it back together last, because there was an aftermarket belt in there. I wonder if they didn't put the head, the reed head part that Scruffy did, on the outside of the case. I wonder if that was binding the mechanism so it wouldn't come out again, because that could be a very overlooked piece. So, anyways, all right. Thanks everybody. We'll be back with Wednesday with something. I'm kind of waiting for the Lava RGB boards. It's going to be another couple weeks, I think, just because PCBWay is working on assembling them still. So I don't know. We'll have to find something else to do next. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you on Wednesday